In ancient Judea, a wealthy man had two sons, one dutiful and steady, the other restless and hungry for adventure. The younger son, feeling trapped by home and overshadowed by his brother, demanded his share of the inheritance. It was a shocking request, a rejection of family and tradition. The father, heartbroken but loving, divided his property between them. The younger son took his fortune, leaving behind the fields, and the father who loved him. The house, once united, was now divided by desire and loss. The younger son plunged into a distant city, spending his wealth on parties, luxury, and fleeting friendships. For a while he was the center of attention, celebrated for his generosity. But when the money ran out, so did his friends. Alone and destitute, he faced a famine that swept the land. Once a prince among revelers, he became a beggar, hungry and forgotten. The city that once dazzled him now turned cold and indifferent. He was left with nothing but regret and emptiness. Desperate and alone, the young man found himself in dire straits. He had squandered his inheritance and now faced the harsh realities of a world that offered no easy solutions. He was forced to seek any means of survival, his pride slowly eroding with each passing day. With no other options available, he took the only job he could find, feeding pigs. This was a deeply humiliating task, especially for a Jew, as pigs were considered unclean animals. The irony of his situation was not lost on him. Starving and weak, he envied the pigs' food, a slop that seemed far more appealing than his own empty stomach. He began to realize just how far he had fallen, how low he had sunk in the depths of despair. This was truly rock bottom. Amidst the filth and squalor, he remembered his father's house, a place of warmth, abundance, and love. Even the servants there lived in comfort, with plenty to eat and a roof over their heads. The stark contrast between his present misery and his past privilege was a painful reminder of his folly. Utterly broken, he finally resolved to return home, not as a son expecting forgiveness, but as a humble servant, ready to confess his failure and beg for a place among the hired hands. He knew it was a long shot, but it was his only hope. He began to rehearse his plea, carefully crafting the words he would use to express his remorse. "Father," he would say, "I have sinned against heaven and against you. I am no longer worthy to be called your son. Treat me as one of your hired servants." With only a flicker of hope remaining, he set out for home, his heart heavy with regret and uncertainty. The road ahead was long and arduous, but he pressed on, driven by a desperate longing for forgiveness. Each weary step was a testament to his newfound humility, a journey from the depths of ruin toward the possibility of redemption, a path from darkness toward the faintest glimmer of light. The father, with the weight of years etched upon his face, had never stopped watching the road. Each sunrise brought a renewed sense of hope, each sunset a fresh wave of disappointment. His eyes, though aged, remained sharp, constantly scanning the horizon. He stood by the gate, day after day, week after week, month after month, hoping, praying for his son's return. The gate, once a symbol of security and belonging, had become a constant reminder of absence. He yearned for the familiar footsteps, the sound of his son's voice, the warmth of his embrace. Then, one day, as the sun dipped low, casting long shadows across the land, he spotted a ragged figure in the distance. A lone silhouette against the fiery sky, barely discernible, yet something stirred within him. As the figure drew nearer, a flicker of recognition sparked in his heart, growing into a burning certainty. It was him. It was his child, returning after all this time. Overcome with compassion, a wave of emotion washing over him, the father ran to him, his old legs finding a strength he thought long gone. Heedless of his age, he sprinted down the road, his heart pounding with anticipation. He reached his son, embracing him tightly before a word could be spoken. Tears streamed down his face as he held him close. The prodigal returned, safe and sound. The son, humbled and ashamed, began his confession, ready to beg for forgiveness and a place as a servant. But the father, his heart overflowing with love, interrupted, silencing his son's remorse. He called for the best robe, a symbol of honor and status, not a garment of servitude. A ring, a signet of authority and belonging, was placed upon his finger, and shoes were placed upon his feet, restoring him fully as a son, not a servant, but a beloved member of the family. The father's love was immediate and unconditional, a boundless ocean of forgiveness washing away all transgression. He ordered a celebration, a grand feast to mark this joyous occasion, declaring, "My son was dead and is alive again. He was lost and is found." His voice rang with elation, a testament to the power of love and redemption. The home filled with music and joy, laughter echoing through the halls, a symphony of reunion and forgiveness, the sorrow of loss, the emptiness of absence replaced by the miracle of return, the fullness of reconciliation. Forgiveness triumphed over shame, love conquered despair, and hope bloomed anew in the heart of the Father and the home of the Son. As the feast began, a vibrant tapestry of sights, sounds, and aromas filled the air. The tables were laden with delicacies, music echoed through the courtyard, and laughter punctuated the joyous atmosphere. It was a celebration of homecoming, a testament to the enduring power of love and forgiveness. Meanwhile, the older son, toiling diligently, returned from the fields, his brow furrowed with the day's labor. The sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows as he approached the family estate, unaware of the festivities that awaited him. A servant, hearing his approach, rushed out to meet him, delivering the news of his brother's unexpected homecoming and the grand celebration underway. The older brother stopped in his tracks, the weight of the announcement settling heavily upon him. Instead of joy and relief, a wave of anger washed over him, fueled by a sense of injustice and resentment. He couldn't comprehend the lavish display of affection for someone who had squandered his inheritance and abandoned his family. Consumed by his emotions, he refused to join the celebration, unable to reconcile his feelings with the outpouring of love and acceptance. The music and laughter, once symbols of joy, now felt like a personal affront. The father, noticing his absence, came out, his heart heavy with concern for his eldest son. He understood the complexities of his son's emotions and longed to bridge the gap that had formed between them. With gentle words and outstretched arms, he pleaded with him to come inside, to share in the joy of the moment and to embrace his brother's return. The older son, however, remained steadfast in his protest, his voice rising with indignation as he recounted his years of unwavering service and sacrifice. He felt deeply hurt by what he perceived as a profound injustice, a blatant disregard for his loyalty and dedication. Why should his brother, who had caused so much pain and hardship, be rewarded with such extravagance? Years of faithful labor, countless sacrifices, and unwavering commitment seemed to be completely overlooked, overshadowed by the prodigal son's dramatic return. The father, with unwavering patience and understanding, gently reminded him of the enduring bond they shared. "My son," he said, "you are always with me and all that I have is yours. Your place in my heart and in this family is secure and unwavering. But we must celebrate this joyous occasion, because your brother was lost, adrift in a sea of despair, and now he is found safe and sound, back in our embrace." The story poignantly ends with the older brother standing outside, a solitary figure silhouetted against the warm glow of the house. He is faced with a profound choice, a crossroads in his own heart and soul. Will he remain consumed by resentment, bitterness hardening his heart, or will he choose to step inside and join the feast of forgiveness, embracing the transformative power of love and reconciliation? The parable leaves us with a lingering question, a challenge to examine our own hearts and motivations. In the face of another's failings, will we cling to judgment, allowing bitterness to fester and divide? Or will we choose to embrace the messy, imperfect, but ultimately liberating joy of reconciliation, extending grace and compassion even when it feels undeserved? In the Father's house, a symbol of unconditional love and unwavering acceptance, love patiently waits with open arms for every lost soul to find their way home, offering solace, forgiveness, and a place at the table.